It's The Big Picture. Hello and welcome. Alkin, welcome.
Well found.
Self-confidence. Do you have it? Do you possess a lot of self-confidence? And if you have it, why do you have it? Because some people do, some people don't.
It's a bell curve. The more you have it, the better you feel. And after you tip over to the other side, to the dark side, the more you have it, the worse other people feel. Because you start being aggressive. It has both ways.
Being self-confident, being too self-confident can lead to arrogance, I suppose, can it?
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I've been called that a lot of times.
What is it?
Speaking out of experience. Sometimes people just don't expect you to be that straightforward, especially when it comes to subjects, very subjective stuff.
Or stuff which is maybe close to your heart.
Could be.
You know, which you hold a passion for.
Most of the times, when people judge you with something, when you judge people with something, it is usually something that is related deeply, directly to yourself. For example, if I find you arrogant, it means your attitude is something I myself would have displayed if I were you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And if I had been in that kind of a situation,
you would
if
have
I
done
had
exactly
been
the same.
acting that way, I would have been arrogant. It is how judging works. If you know how judging works, then you can leave it aside and start seeing the big picture.
But surely we all need a part of confidence in our lives. We all need to have some confidence in our lives.
Of course.
Where is the borderline? Where's the line which says, you know, this is the right way to be, and then where's the borderline that tips you over to the dark side, as you say?
When you start forcing your ideas or your presence over people, that is the dark side. You can show the way. You can show them that there's another option. You can make them see the choice and step aside.
Is it the way we speak, or is it the way we act? How aggressive do you have to be to?
You don't really have
to be labeled as now you're overconfident. Now you're being arrogant.
It's not talking, it's not acting, it is the way you carry yourself. It is your presence, the energy that you emit. It is that what people call arrogance.
So what is the difference? Why do some of us have this, and why do others don't even know what confidence is?
We're talking as if I'm an expert on this subject. I just know what I know, and I just keep my boundaries limited with what I don't know.
Okay.
And when we reach that place, you'll suddenly see that I am not that confident, and it's not that I lack confidence there. I will tell you that I don't know anything about that subject, and I will not try to make a comment on it.
What about people who I've read people who've had a good education and a better standard of living have more self-confidence than those who haven't?
Yes, I would agree with that, and that is actually one of the pitfalls that humanity has led itself to, because
like a social status.
Human intellect is falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
Because the more you think you know, it is actually the more knowledge that you have collected. The more books you read doesn't make you a wiser person. Understanding has two sides to it: comprehension and tolerance. These are both understanding. When you're understanding towards another person, you can Louis on your stance, or you can understand where they're coming from.
Yeah.
Appreciate the knowledge or the situation.
And I'm sure again it's how you do it depends on how overconfident you may seem to other people, obviously. Yeah.
You can be confident, so confident that you can just let the other person be without poking your finger in their eye.
Yeah, doing a more subtle approach to it. Yeah.
But you don't actually do that knowingly or consciously. Let me be a little more subtle here. You don't do. If you do that, that is pre-planned. The premeditation makes a little hidden agenda, and that
becomes a self-arrogance factor. Yeah, sure.
What is in Turkish? We have a saying, ukala, and it means the one who talks about stuff he doesn't know. Arrogance, on the other hand, is just showing
off.
Yes,
boasting.
Boasting, exactly. Yeah. If you're bragging, if you're boasting with your knowledge, it means you're not that confident in yourself, because you still have to validate it with other people by showing off. If you know for sure, if you understand the ethics of it, if you understand the foundation of it, you don't have to ask anyone's permission. You don't have to ask for anyone's validation. You just are. I am. And that's it.
There's another side to the... I mean,
we could continue being more self-conscious. This self-conscious thing has a negative connotation to it when you talk about yourself. For example, being self-conscious about your weight means that you are not confident about.
That's quite a negative
Exactly.
attitude, isn't it?
Let's be conscious about what we're doing here. We're talking, just you and I, so that people listen. Wrong. We're talking so that we can listen to each other.
Because we like talking.
So exactly
That's what
that.
we do.
So that's what we do. If you're listening to this, we're not talking so that you can listen. We're talking to each other, and you are benefiting from it because Keith has benevolently taken on the job to edit this and put it on the web so that people can benefit if they choose to. We're not talking because we want to show you something.
Sure, we're not preaching. We're not preaching at all.
We are just talking to each other. And if we sound like we know a lot to you, it means that you don't have that much confidence in that part, or you think we are just full of bullshit.
Which the second option may be the right one.
Exactly.
But let's look at this more. There's quite a serious side to this lacking self-confidence rather than having confidence. People have committed suicide. People have killed themselves.
I'll ask you a question. If you are able to stand in balance on one foot, what does it mean for you, and what does it stop you from doing?
Well, it stops me from falling over.
First,
Yeah.
but prevent you.
If I stand on one foot, it prevents me from standing on the other foot.
Exactly. You don't have a crutch on your arm. You don't have something to lean on. Confiding in something else is exactly this. You need 2 points, or at least 2 points, to make it work. If you are self-confident, you're standing on one foot and you don't need to move forward. The ones who have to move forward for their being, for their lives, for their ontological experience,
Yeah.
for the ones who need to move forward, just like sharks, they can't stop. If they stop, they die, and they die when they stop, vice versa. Judging is so easy. This guy is not moving forward because he's standing on one foot. Can you do that? No. It's easy to judge by appearance only. And if you're standing on one foot, it may even mean that you're walking faster. Both feet are not touching the ground at the same time. And
It's a good analysis, that young man. I quite like that one.
it's like a wave, a sine wave, which is higher in frequency, that touches ground more often, that both feet touch at the same time so that you can feel in balance. If you have lower frequency in touching the ground, you may make a bigger wave. That's another movement, which may be perceived from outside for the ones who are higher or lower, that you may not be moving at all. For example, this kid, 12 years of age, is considered to be the next Nobel Prize winner, and he's considered to be more clever, or he has more IQ than Einstein. He's proven Newton wrong, and he says he was diagnosed with autism because he was looking at stuff and not moving at all. People would think he was not thinking. He said,
Yeah, just daydreaming.
I was just so stuck in making calculations, elaborate calculations, might I add, here, in shades or space or just objects in the space. He was just staring blankly at something. People would think he was not thinking, but he was thinking a lot deeper. And this is another way of presenting the sine waves and the frequency of them. If you are standing on one foot and your other foot comes a lot later, you may even be running with leaps and bounds. You may be bouncing off one foot and landing on the other. This, on the other hand, can be likened to have more confidence so that you can float in the air, so that you can let the world be while you're standing on one foot and allowing yourself to lose balance. You are so confident you can gain it back. You allow things happen. This is the very end of confidence. And what we're living in is an illusion. I was just thinking about it when I came in today in the studio. We're living in an illusion. We always talk about it. It has a lot of other meanings. But the illusion that we are living through now is the illusion of having substance. What might seem like having a substance is easily replaced with the original. For example, making music. People are not composing symphonies. Maybe they are, but not as much as they used to, or they are not popular. They're not the trend anymore. You can make music without even touching a musical instrument.
You don't need to play a musical instrument to make
have
music
it in
these
your
days,
mind
yeah.
and
Yeah.
put it out there. It may sound beautiful
Yeah.
because you know music, that you have substance in it. But on the other hand, you may let other intelligent machines do the work for you and make a song which has no substance, but it sounds like a song. People would just fall in love with it because it resembles something
Sure.
else.
Yeah. And most people would not know the difference.
And confidence is just like that.
Yeah.
If you sound like you're singing, everyone may call you a singer. If you really have that air about you, you have that attitude that you are confident, you may fool many people.
The over self-confidence, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, let's just quickly then, I wanted to talk to you about Elon Musk. These batteries, these solar-powered batteries are now virtually up and running. I was talking to you earlier about the San Andreas fault and about these problems. The scientists said there's going to be more and more and bigger earthquakes happening. And I said to you, is this going to be Armageddon? Is this it? We know there's scaremongery in a lot of things we hear and we read. But if Elon Musk is now being able to give us the opportunity to power our homes off the grid, the electrical grid, why can't this be done in everything else we do in life? Is it because the powers that be don't want us to do this? Because
Exactly that. In California, they made it illegal to be living off-grid. You have to have your household connected to a running water supply and city grid of the electricity.
So you can't just switch it off.
You have to be connected.
You've got to be connected.
Bottom line of it. You can live off-grid if you really want to, because there are a lot of ways to find information and implement it in your life practically. But the government doesn't just want you to do it because you are not going to be dependent on them. You will be confident. Confidence, self-confidence, is not something that is promoted widely, especially the powers that be. And there's another side of this whole story that we're talking about. Many science lovers, they call themselves the science-minded people, think a conspiracy theorist would believe anything and everything you tell them, even if it's really flat out lie. You know why? Because any conspiracy theorist is open to ideas. We don't judge things by looking at them and say, okay, this is not plausible. If it's not plausible, it may be true.
Well, we know how the powers that be try to ridicule openly.
Exactly. They're using science to validate their misinformation, because science is another cult, just like mathematics, just like higher space physics. If you don't know anything about the basics of it, you will not understand anything.
And you won't argue with anything because
you won't be able to argue with anything. They will just put random facts before you and you are to take them as they are. Swallow the pill, if you would call it that. On the other hand, you may ask yourself, is this raising my vibration? Raising vibration, another very irrigating.
Can we mix this with the confidence things?
Of course.
Is it going to help the confidence?
That's what I'm getting at. If you don't know stuff, if you feel the need to learn stuff from other sources, you are dependent on them. Being interdependent and codependent have the whole answer to this question. Being codependent means you cannot exist without depending on another source.
You just go along with the flow because it's easier.
Just like a forest.
You've got no confidence, so just let it go, let it happen.
Just like a forest.
Yeah.
Every tree is an individual tree, but they make up a forest when they're together. That's called interdependency. They make up a system, and they are what they are. They don't question it. We are human beings. We should come to there is no should actually, but it would be better.
It would be nice if
everyone realized that we can be interdependent.
Yeah.
We could be benevolent and still alive at the same time, because we all expect the worst from other people because it's what we've been taught.
Yeah.
You don't just reach out and help someone without expecting to be stabbed in the back. That's what experience tells you. The world is that, actually, and that's what I'm getting at.
And only we can change that.
By being ourselves, unadulterated.
Confident.
Not more confident. There is no more or less. You can be confident or not. If you know something, if you know that you are confident. If you have doubt, you are less confident. That's why more aggressive. Aggression comes from lack of confidence.
Aggression is the best or the first form of defense.
Is the highest form of defense. Because knowing and understanding are not the same. One comes from another. One comes from the other. Let me rephrase. We know everything we understand, but we don't understand everything we know. When you understand that you know, when you know that you understand, you are free to just be unabridged, unadulterated, unquestionably. You are. That's it. Nothing else. You don't have to add anything to it, because adding nouns and adjectives after that word, be, I am, something, validates that part of yourself. You are all of that.
Yeah. So there's no need for validation.
No need for
You are what
validation
you are.
from outside of yourself.
Okay. Thank you. Akin, wonderful. Let's do it again next time.
I don't know, man.